we treat the body. We never ever look at why a particular person is having a particular disorder. And when we cannot find an answer to that, we term it as idiopathic. Why the disorder? No reason for that. We don't find an answer to that. This is actually what led me into finding out why does one human being suffer and the other doesn't? Why is it that all of us, like animals, have got the same anatomical structures, similar kind of physiologies happening inside our bodies, but yet there is one who is in bed constantly suffering and the other one is sitting up in his living room watching television. There's someone who's enjoying himself taking a holiday, whereas the other one is undergoing a major surgery. Hasn't nature given us the same components? Hasn't nature given us the same body? So structurally, if we are so similar, then why do we all have these disorders which are different from one another? Okay? So we go to the formation of the human body. How was this body formed? The modern scientists have described fertilization as just a mere process of the union of the sperm and the ovum. But is that enough? Then why this unexplained infertility that is taking up like a plague world over? Why is it that we have this unexplained infertility? The definition is definitely not complete. So what view did our ancient scientists give to that? What was their definition of a zygote? They have combined the shukra from the male, the shonita from the female, along with jiva. What a beautiful definition. Shukra shonita jiva sanyoge. The conglomerate of shukra and shonita along with jiva. Jiva is the life substance, which we call as soul. So, how does the soul enter the body? When does the soul enter the body? Was it not sufficient that just the ovum and the sperm got together? Why was it necessary for the soul to enter the body? Many a times we've come across cases wherein, even after confirmed pregnancy, about 2 weeks later on, we don't see any cardiac activity. And then we say, oh, it's a false pregnancy, it's a pseudo pregnancy. But why does a situation like this arise? When the egg is perfect, the sperm is perfect, they've got together, then why should a situation like this come wherein the fetus doesn't grow further? That is because the jiva or the atma, though has entered inside, has stopped manifesting itself. So how does it enter? The soul along with the mind and the three gunas, sattva, the raja and the tamas, enter the zygote, and that is when life is being formed. All the while we spoke about spirituality without understanding how did I enter inside this body. So I have entered inside this body along with my mind and the three gunas. These are the three factors which are responsible. So how do I say this? How do I explain this? You know, the bija, that is the seeds, the shukra and the shonita, are together. They're very, very condensed. The entire formulation of this human body is put in that microscopic seed, the sperm and the ovum, wherein there is no further place for interaction within anything or no further place for expansion. So, when the soul enters inside, it gets the trigunas along with it. And these trigunas start functioning first. The rajas starts functioning, wherein activation takes place within. And once activity is initiated, you have the further progression that is taking place at the cellular level. How does further progression take place? There is no space. For any change to occur in the universe, sound is the only responsible element. I drop a glass over here, and the structure of the glass will change. Will change with what? With the creation of a sound. Without that sound, the structure of the glass would not change. So for change in structure, it is essential that there is creation of sound, and creation of sound starts creating space within the structure. So you can imagine a sperm keeping on hitting on the ovum, and every time it hits, it creates sounds, and every time it creates sound, there is space which is created within. So that is the way. Now, the simile used for the entry of the soul within the body is like when you light a fire using the magnifying glass. The rays of the sun cannot be seen through the magnifying glass, but the effect of that can be seen on the wood or a piece of paper which is kept. It is lit. So that is the same way the soul enters within the body. So what components make the fetus? What components make your body? It is the 5 basic elements which have been given from the mother, from the father, from the maternal diet, and again the component of soul has been included. And you will ask me, where are the elements of the soul? The soul is not supposed to be having any structure. The soul doesn't have a shape, size. How do you say you have elements of the soul? I will give you a small example. I will give you my own example. My father is 5 feet 4 inches tall. My mother is 5 feet 3 inches tall. I am 5 feet 11 inches tall. Where did those 4 inches come from? Of 5 inches come from? I have seen cases wherein, my seeds were for 5 feet 4 inches and 5 feet 3 inches. I should have come in between 5 feet 3.5 inches. The other example is, I have seen very dark parents having a very, very fair child, or very fair parents having a quite wheatish complexioned child, a dark child. The seed did not have these formulations. Genomics, yes, is trying to find out. But where did this come from? The change. That says that it is personal. Once the soul enters inside the zygote, after that it arranges the Mahabhutas or arranges the elements according to what is necessary for its body to grow and develop for progression. So what the role of 5 elements play? The space creates space. The air starts with cell division. The fire starts conversion and metabolism. The water holds everything together, and the earth finally gives shape and structure to the body. What are the 6 factors which contribute towards the growth of a fetus? This is what has been described in Ayurveda. Our birth is not something that is very simple. Our birth is not something that cannot be governed by other factors as well. In the modern science, you can eat anything you want, you can sleep any time you want, you can do whatever you want, nothing is going to affect the fetus. The fetus will grow by itself. No, ladies and gentlemen. If that was the case, we wouldn't have had so much of unsatisfactions, the children having so many disorders, because the seeds are good, pure, everything that you say about. When does the disease process start beginning? Within the body. So these are the 6 factors which are actual contributions from the different factors which contribute towards formation of the fetus. The maternal, the paternal, the dietary, factors related to mind, factors which are congenial for our bodies, and the factors which are related to the soul. The mother gives the skin, blood, muscles, fat, and all the soft organs. The father contributes towards hair, beard, teeth, bone, tendons, and blood vessels, and all the other hard structures in the body. The congenial features are freedom from disease, abstinence from idleness, absence of greediness, a normal voice and complexion, constant feeling of happiness, perspicuity of sense organs, and a very high quality of ojas. You all know about this, so I don't need to elaborate more on it. The dietary ones, which are very, very important because they come as external features. So whatever the mother eats during her pregnancy is basically responsible for how the child grows inside. Dietary, first essential for the growth of the body. Without eating anything, we cannot grow. Attachment of life. When I say attachment of life, what does it mean? If I'm supposed to go hungry for more than 40 days, my body will never be able to sustain that life within. So to sustain life within the body, it is very much essential that I go. To nourish. You need to nourish the body for its normal growth. After eating, we all should feel content. Yes, I have had a fantastic meal and I feel good about it. This should give rise to enthusiasm. And from enthusiasm, we get the derived energy, the zest to go for it. And finally, it gives us complexion. Now the soul related. Birth in specific species. What do we mean by that? Birth in specific species. Why was I not born like Dr. Jane? Why not like Rosie? Why am I born like Nilesh? Who chose that I should be born like this? Where did it come from? Why couldn't I be Obama? The soul chooses the right place to take birth. Why? The right parents to take birth to. Why? Because it constantly requires to absorb the karma of the past lives. And it will look out for a very suitable place wherein it can go, embody itself, use the body to progress further and move away from it. Knowledge about oneself is another quality of the soul. The soul already has a knowledge about itself. And what can the soul carry back from here when it leaves is nothing but jnana or knowledge. How do I say that? You would have found, there are plenty of shows going around on the television in America which talk about talent search. Suddenly you will see a 5-year-old singing like a nightingale. And you will say, I've been going for classes for the last 20 years. I can't even match the pitch. Where did that come from? Did that happen overnight? It is an accumulation over the last plenty of lifetimes which has led to perfection. And when exhibited in a particular lifetime, you say, oh wow. The soul also carries the mind along with itself, appearance, respiration. When you sleep, who breathes? When you sleep, who breathes? In the daytime, if you do not breathe for more than 2 minutes, what happens? So what would have happened if you were not to breathe when you sleep? So it is the soul's duty to look after the body when all the sense organs are shut. Specific complexion, as I've given an example earlier, happiness and sorrow, longing and hatred. What are the qualities that are related to the mind? Consciousness, retention power. Retention power, you take in anything and you retain within from your sense organs. Knowledge, memory, pride, and perception of all sense organs. As my speaker before said, why take birth? That was one question that I put before. is why do we need to take birth? If I am to go through all these miseries, if I am to see miseries all around me, why the hell should I take birth? I am better off over there. I don't need to take birth. The soul can only progress once it embodies itself. So it is only possible for the soul to progress once the medium of the body is taken by it. And how? The body possesses sense organs, by virtue of which knowledge is gained by the soul. Again, if you see the slide before, I said it is the soul, the mind, along with sattva, raja, tama, and then entry inside the body. So the mind and the soul coexist with each other, and both of them can become functional entities only once it enters inside the body. Outside the body, they do not have power for anything. So how do we derive knowledge? Derivation of the knowledge is from the object to the sense organ via the media of mind, then reaching the soul. So, as I said, why take birth? It is to follow the 4 Purusharthas, and after we follow the 4 Purusharthas, we need to leave away from here. That makes it a complete birth. Now, when is it possible for us to complete our Purusharthas? When we have the elements in the most balanced state. And what is the balanced state of elements? The body elements are the earth and the water. These basically go to form the body. And the elements of the soul